Hi everyone, so today I've had a question sent my way from a player that I coach. He's looking at getting his pelvis more open at impact. He can do the rehearsals without the club, but then when he adds the club, finds it challenging to get the positions that he wants to, get the pelvis open. So that is a typical thing that I see with players. We can actually get in and do the body moves, get a good concept of how we want that individual segment to move. But then when we add the club, the ball, the target, it gets that little bit more challenging to actually execute the movement that you want to and the shot at the same time. So I've got a simple drill today that I'm going to go through that I find really helps you to get your pelvis open at impact. It is scaling back from hitting full shots at full speed down to hitting some shorter shots, paying very clear attention to a few cues. So as far as making sure we're getting open in the right time, what I typically see in players is that, or players that struggle to get open, is that the segment acceleration. So by what I mean by that is the acceleration of the pelvis turning through, the rib cage turning through, the arms, the hands, the club. If they are synced up well, or if they're done in a nice time, then typically we can see everything get nicely and open and the club get delivered in the way that we want. So with players that struggle to get open with the pelvis, one really common thing that I see is that from the top of the backswing, they'll be just really trying to force, like, let's get that pelvis open from the top. And the timing of getting that acceleration then of the pelvis is so quick from the top that it really sets off a bad timing of the other segments moving in the downswing. So point number one of importance is from the top of the backswing, we are going to not try and force that pelvis getting open. We're going to actually apply pressure into the ground through this right foot. We're going to keep the pressure on the right side, and then from there, as we get into this position halfway down, we're going to be pretty even pressure between left and right foot. And one reference that I always like here is that the knees are square to the target line at this point. Pelvis is going to be a little bit open, but knees are square, so that from here we've not spun too much. Okay, so point number one, once again, from the top to halfway down, we're getting that club in a nice position. Knees are square to that alignment stick that's on the floor, pelvis slightly open, and from there, that position there, now we're in good timing then to actually push and move everything open. You can see how from that position, if I now push off my pelvis, my rib cage, my head, everything is nice and open as I move through the shot. So if we try and force it from the top, it usually doesn't go well. So we want to transition nicely and then from there push through. Okay, I've actually placed a ball out just out in front of me there that you can see as a reference when I'm working on this, because what I'll actually do is from the top I'll work on getting to a nice delivery position. Knees are good, pelvis feels a touch open, and then as I work down into impact, my belt buckle, my chest, my head are all pointed at that ball there, and that's a nice reference to make sure that we're getting all those timings matched up. If you're able to get those three segments, pelvis, rib cage and head, pointed at that ball around impact, that's a nice reference for impact and for how open you want to get those segments. Okay, so how to work on that? What I have seen work really well with players is once we get to here, just rehearsing nice and slow to these positions, and then all we're going to do is hit a few shots. So rehearsing from there to impact, being aware of where we want to be, and then all we do is from these positions here, just hit a few chip shots through. So I didn't hit that one very well. Sometimes it's not the easiest to hit the shots while you're talking through them. So once again, so a bit better there, little steep on it, but just working through the positions and getting those segments in where we want them to be from an open wise. From here, work it in, That was better. Nice little chip shot there. Just working it through. When we slow it down and we focus on that, just that area of the swing where we want to be open and doing the right timing, we've got a much better chance of actually feeling the movement that we're trying to achieve.